Hello, my name is Micah, and in this video, I will be decorating 2 journal spreads with you. These spreads aren't about anything in particular. I was just in the mood to collage, and sometimes I'll just decorate a couple pages in advance, so they're ready for me to write in. And although I'm not decorating with specific days in mind, I find that I still gravitate towards images and colors that resonate with me in this moment. So it's still meaningful in that way, not that it even has to. I sometimes find myself taking these kinds of things a little too seriously, which takes the fun out of it. So that everything has to have a meaning, and that the images and stickers I use in my journals have to perfectly represent my day. But you know what? Sometimes all I need is to just glue some pretty paper down, and that's valid too. Yeah, so let me know, how do you approach that? Do your images and stickers always correspond with what kind of day you had? Or are your collages sometimes separate from what you write about? Yeah, let me know. Now I'm grabbing my Valentine's zine from Jen by Jennie Mae June, and I love this zine. The collages in it and papers are so pretty. It always feels a little wrong to tear into these papers, but I try to remind myself that that's what they're there for. That's exactly their intended use. I mean, I guess I also could have used these pages as entire journal pages, but I decided to rip them apart. Yeah, here I am grabbing my trusty zipper pouches, or, well, I guess it's not a zipper. I don't know what you call that closure, but my little pouches where I keep all my other ephemera and stickers in. This particular stash here is a lot of happy mail from Pocket Journal Pam that she kindly sent to me, which is a mix of things that she made and that she sells in her Etsy shop, as well as has on her Patreon, and then a couple of magazine cutouts as well. So I feel ready to commit. There's always this phase at the beginning where I'm trying a lot of things out, and then I realize, well, I'm not going to make any decisions if I don't commit to something. So I feel pretty good about these papers. And you may notice that on the right-hand side, I left a little bit more space. There's not as much watercolor on that page, and that's because I am feeling like drawing in my journal. I haven't done that in a while, and so I left myself quite a bit of space there. Yeah, so I do feel good about that little card with the bird on. I think in English it's called a blue tit, if I'm not mistaken. So in German that's Blaumeise. Again, that's from Pam. She sent me a couple Flow magazine bits and pieces, and I guess she bought it in German. Yeah, and then including this cute little cat window sticker, which is from Cat Collage Club. I thought, now looking at it, I didn't even realize that while making this collage. You could almost see it as the cat is looking out the window and seeing the little bird outside. I know it's a little abstract, but that's kind of what I mean. Even though I didn't really have anything in particular in mind, somehow, you know, things do end up making sense somewhat. I love all the colors that I chose. The sort of like bright yellow with the minty green and purple. It's a really pretty color combination, and I think is very springy and Eastery. Yeah. So here I chose another Cat Collage Club cat sticker. If you're unfamiliar with Cat Collage Club, I'll have that linked or everything basically linked down below if you want to check that out. It's a subscription service for cat-themed journal printables that I offer. Yeah. And then I'm adding some watercolor to the back there, to the text, because I realized it might, keep the focus on the cat sticker a little bit more rather than the writing, but I thought the writing in the background was still cool as a sort of texture. Here I'm using my newest stamp with little sprinkle dots. When I ordered it, I thought it would be way bigger, but it's still cute. It's always nice to have washi tape and stamps because it can melt different elements together, because it can overlap different pieces. Yeah, and so here I am drawing a little mouse character. I thought I always include so many cats in my journaling that maybe it's time to have a little mouse friend. I'm not exactly sure why recently I haven't been drawing as much in my journal. Maybe it's just a time constraint, or sometimes I kind of forget all the possibilities of what you can do with a journal. Yeah. So I was really happy that I took the time to just sketch something out and put something of an original drawing in my journal. Oh yeah, and then I'm noticing that I smudged the stamp. Just got it on my hands. And for the lines, I am using a micron pen by Sakura. I love these pens. They're so, I don't know, they make a really good black line. You can also get them in brown, I think. And then they're waterproof. And since I wasn't sure if I was gonna color her or not, I figured it's a good choice. So I'm basically just going around. There's no particular order when I do these drawings, which lines I do first. Just, yeah. Take them as they come. Speaking of forgetting sort of what's all the things that are possible in a journal, I've noticed lately that when I read back through my writing, there's certain things missing, I feel like, when I look back on the day. So I kind of want to experiment with the way I write my journal entries. So rather than focusing on how I decorate my journal, I want to experiment with how I write. And I actually have one or two books that I'm currently reading and going through that are hopefully helpful in that way. If you're interested in that, let me know. I'd love to share. Oh yeah, here I'm grabbing my Ecoline brush pen because I realized just using the micron pen to fill in the black areas was kind of tedious. And it does really well. So the Ecoline brush pens, if you're unfamiliar, they're sort of kind of like watercolor based. And so sometimes the colors aren't as, like a black wouldn't be too pure black. It's more like a black wash as it is in watercolor. But I think it did decently well. I went over the areas more than once to make sure that it's like full black. But yeah, I think she turned out really cute. Cute little mouse friend. Yeah, love all the textures, love all the colors, and there's still enough space for writing, I think. So then now it's time to stick that cat sticker on that little tip in there, and then this spread is done. Oh, never mind, it's not done. I realized that I wanted to include a little bit more bright yellow, so I'm grabbing this washi tape. I love that washi tape. It's sort of like a collage washi tape. Yeah, and now on to the next spread. So I am gluing 2 pages together in this journal. This is a Midori cotton notebook. So the fibers of the paper have a little bit of cotton in them, which makes them more absorbent than normal. Oh, and here I'm showing you this page. I loved what I did there with the collage and the images just bleeding into other images, sort of. And I wanted to recreate something like that. So that's always a good idea. If you like something that you did on a previous spread, just do it again. And this book is all about cake, and it has these beautiful illustrations in it. And I bought this at the Dollar Tree for $1, and I love it. Again, it feels a little wrong to cut into it because it's so beautiful, but I know that I'm getting even more enjoyment out of this book if I glue it into my journal and it becomes part of my memory keeping. And yeah, so I decided for these 2 ladies sitting together on a bench under a tree. I thought that was really sweet, and yeah, kind of has a spring vibe to it. And again, that color combination of purple and yellow and green, it's just so pretty. And then I pulled out some more cats. This is Cat Collage Club for March specifically. And I decide that this cat fairy is gonna go on that page. And then I pulled out some patterned papers to see what I want to use. That colorful one there on the right side with the watercolor I made myself and then scanned in and printed out again on Tomoe River paper, which is super thin paper. And so it's nice because then you can use it in your journal collages, but it doesn't add a lot of bulk. So yeah, that's kind of cool. But yes, what I was saying about the Midori paper is that the paper is beautiful. It's so absorbent, but it doesn't show through or bleed through. The book, it has just so many pages that I'm concerned if I put collages on every page, this book is gonna burst. And so basically, to limit bulk, I am only using every other page to put collage on. So that's why I'm gluing paper together. It has nothing to do with the paper quality, but more to do with how much I can add to this to this book. And maybe to some that might seem wasteful, but yeah, I guess that's a personal decision. Yeah, and I'm adding some watercolor again. Also something that I haven't done recently a lot of time. Does that happen to you where you do a certain thing or you decorate your pages in a certain way for a while and then you kind of shift to another thing and then you remember, oh yeah, I used to do that and it was kind of fun. Does that happen to you? Which is also kind of fun, a fun reason to revisit old journals. Not only to look back on your memories and how things have changed, but also to just remind yourself of cool ideas you had, you know? These words, do your best. I cut out from a Happy Mail piece that Pam sent me. I think that's from a Flow magazine cover. And now I'm grabbing again the Valentine's zine. I felt like that the right-hand side needed some more of that blue and a little like collage piece to sort of anchor those elements, especially the phrase. I had a hard time figuring out where that would best go, but yeah, I like where it ended up. Yeah, bringing some more hot pink over there. I still feel that the what's that, left side bottom corner where that polka dot pattern is, to the feet of the cat fairy, still seems a little empty maybe. But I couldn't find anything that would fit in that little corner. I've noticed that I don't have a lot of like small elements, like tiny elements. Maybe that's somewhere I just need to find more tiny stickers or something. I'm not sure, but I've realized that I have a lot of, you know, big elements like pattern collage pieces and big illustrations and smaller things, but not tiny. Yeah, bringing some more of that blue from the collage piece over in the upper left-hand corner. I always have a hard time with left and right. Yeah, and it's always a if you want to have your 2 pages in a spread cohesive, to just bring elements from one side to the other and just balance it out. Here I'm going for my trusty polka dot washi tape. I love this washi tape. I think it's so versatile. It goes with everything, and it just brings a pop of contrast to anything that I stick that on. And yeah, now I'm using all the offcuts from all the collage pieces and just gluing them on the back of this postcard, which is from Journal Pam, by the way. You can get that in her Etsy shop. And yeah, I'm just gluing these pieces down. I'm leaving a lot of empty white space on this because I'm not sure if I want to be writing on there or if I'm gonna put a picture down. And that's the sort of my method of pre-decorating, is sort of, yeah, still having fun with elements, but then having enough space to still make it its own thing once I'm writing in it. And here we have the finished spread. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's definitely colorful, but I still think it has spring vibes with all the greens and the yellows. And yeah, so happy that I finally did a drawing in my journal. And thanks so much for sharing this time with me, and until next time, happy journaling!